Welcome guys. It's to the ARC Season 3 draft. It's gonna be me and Kia
Hello.
hosting a draft today.
Yeah, and just to give you a quick rundown, we have a new selection of drivers in Tier 1, some staying, some getting promoted from Tier 2. We've also rebranded the tiers. They are now known as competitive and casual. And what is on the agenda for tonight is based on the previous season's results. We have established a draft order. We'll be going down in pairs for our 10 teams, where they will provide us on round 1 either a driver choice or a team choice for what car they want to race the next season. And the driver choice is for their reserves because we can only tier one teams are only allowed to field one reserve, and they can collect points this season. That is different from last season. So if you're gonna miss a few races, maybe the reserve is a lot more important than what car you drive. So you want to make sure you get a good one. Our tier twos are currently the reserve roster. Um, yeah, and then we're going to, at the end, when we get to Team 10, we start back in descending order this time. So Team 10 goes again for their second pick, and they get to pick whatever they didn't pick before. Plus, they get to pick a map that we will race.
Yep. So I guess we're ready to go, right?
I believe we are, and our first team is going to be Tact and Van. So if we could get Tack in the... Hello, Tack. Welcome to the
Hello.
commentary channel.
Thank you.
And before we get to revealing your choice and everything, I just want to make clear to the viewers how advantageous it is for you guys to go first, because now you can choose whether you
It's really
know
not.
you're gonna miss races. You could either choose a good reserve, or you could choose a good car, because it does suck to race a car such as the Racing Point or the Renault, because we all know neither of those cars are very good.
Well, the
Um,
Racing Point actually I've raced in season one, and it did me well.
Yes, and I was your
Um,
teammate in that season.
yeah, I know. But actually, no, it's not really that advantageous. Like you have first pick, you also have the last pick, so you basically get stuck with, you know, some shitty reserve that nobody wants. So, um, yeah, it's
Well,
a pro and con.
you also get the last pick for the map, which could be nice because
Yeah,
you can see which of your favorite tracks has already been selected.
yep.
yeah, yeah. That'll be nice. Yeah, looking forward to it. Van, you want
Yep.
to do the honors?
Yep. Our first pick. We're gonna be picking our car, which is gonna be Renault.
Oh, interesting choice. Now, I did have a follow up question for you, Tack. You
Mm,
came to be the runner up this season for Tier One. Do you have your sight set on the championship this year, or are you
Definitely
looking
not.
to tame your aspirations? Because, as we know, you've gotten a wheel, and
Yeah, so yeah, I'm obviously switched from the pad to the wheel. I'm still a second or so slower than my time trial time, so I'm pads, so still getting
and
used to it.
and do
Yeah.
you intend to race on it this season?
Yeah, I think I will. I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously, there's no point in sticking with the pad because the wheel in the long run will be faster. So I just got to get used to it and
Yeah, and I'll
learn how
also
to
be
use
getting a
it.
wheel soon with you. So right now we're
Oh,
pad
yep.
bros, I guess, but eventually we'll swap to the wheel. And yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and I believe it is time to move on to our next team. Our next team would be Borat and Figlin,
Strong pairing indeed.
and here is Figlin. Hi,
Hey,
Fig.
how's it going?
Pretty good. Just had a few questions for
How
you
is it?
before we get to picking the cars. Or your reserve driver, whatever your choice is. Obviously, your second choice. And I just want to know, um, do you think that you can finally contend for the championship again? Will you try to go for the constructors with Borat, or do you think you'll be mostly in the midfield?
I think I'll be fighting for an occasional podium along with Borat, honestly. Um, with the guys coming up, it's going to be very tough, but it'll be fun and we'll both get faster. So,
And of course, would you like to reveal now what your selection is?
So we're gonna go car. I originally wanted the Ferrari, but me and Borat went ahead and decided on the Williams together. So
Williams.
the two probably least popular cars are picked now.
So they
So
are.
this is gonna be your third season in a row driving Williams, huh?
Yeah, third season in a row. So that's gonna be on the fun facts because I think I'm the only one to stay in a car, the same car, all 3 seasons.
You might be.
So, yep. Yeah. So yeah, Williams. Wanted the Ferrari because it sounds better.
Do you think you could restore Williams to its former glory, or?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I already did that the past 2 seasons. I mean, I got a win and a podium last season, so
Of course.
yeah.
And do you think that your streak of choosing Williams will continue into the 2020, given if we start a league there?
I like the new car. I like the blue halo
The
and
Colgate?
everything. Yeah,
Yep.
but it just yeah, exactly. It just kind of looks like a I don't know, thing of deodorant or something driving around. I don't know. Interesting car.
Yeah.
But
All right.
yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us, and look forward to
Yep.
seeing you this season.
Yeah. See you guys.
And
Okay.
Gord Righteous is up next, a strong pairing.
Gore and Wright.
Gord was the Tier 2 champion.
Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the selection process.
Hello
just
there.
Before we start, I would like to ask you a few questions about your aspirations for this season. Gore, as a champion, of course, do you think you can go for the double crown this year in Tier 1 and Tier 2 now? Sorry, Tier 2 now Tier 1?
Well, that's the goal, of course, is the championship and the constructors with Righteous, and obviously everybody will be doing their trying their best, and we're gonna have to work for every point, but I think it'll be a lot of fun, and we've got some serious challengers, and it should be a fun season.
Great. Righteous, I had a question for you as well. You've had, to put delicately, some issues in the past couple of races that maybe would have seen you lower than you would have hoped or expected. Do you think this break will have reset your downward trend? Are you energized for the next season?
I think kind of got in my own head, and I was really trying to make sure I finished up there, and I just I wasn't being patient enough. So most of my issues stem from my impatience a lot. So I have corrected. So I think I should be better off.
So you've changed your approach coming into just the race, or would this be qualifying as well?
Oh, everything altogether, especially now with only having to worry about really just one race a week. I can put more time into practicing and other things.
Well, I thought you were going to hint at something. I thought you were going to say really only having to worry about one team. Do you guys have a specific rival team in mind coming into this season?
Probably Rogue and Ruda. Just in the last races, I think at least one of us was fighting with the other one every single race. I would assume that would continue. And of course, Borat and Figland are great drivers. Kublai and Babushka, Kublai and Blase, Nile and Babushka. Really everybody. Dees and Jordan are all fast, so I think it's going to be a pretty tight bunch. And yeah.
I think Rogue and Ruda will give us the best run for our money, but they've been rife with mistakes a lot. Rogue is
Wow.
Rogue can recover from them, but Ruda has not been able to recover as well.
So you think the key?
Smack.
So you think the key to your success will be consistency?
Consistency and patience.
All right. Well, you know what? Enough talking. Let us get down to the brass tacks. Who have you chosen this year?
With the third choice in the overall draft, we select our car, and it will be the Ferrari. Thank you, Figland and Borat.
Okay.
All right, the Ferrari. Sounds nice. looks okay. Just make sure you don't bring any shame to Maranello, and and I think that'll be it. Thank you for
It
joining
seems
us.
like the bar is pretty low. Thank you.
It might be. It might be.
All right. So the next team up is Deez and Jordan, and unfortunately, Deez cannot make it right now. But he did tell me what they're gonna pick. So they're gonna go ahead and pick their car. Deez and Jordan, they're gonna pick the Mercedes.
Mercedes, the fourth choice. So now that is the big two. There's only one big team left, and that would be Red Bull. Although McLaren does have a significant fan backing now with their young duo. So let's get in Rogue and Ruda and see who they go. And my money, without knowing anything, would be that they're going for Red Bull because they have been in public lobbies.
All
But
right,
we will
let's find
see.
out.
Hello, Rogue. Hello, Ruda. Welcome to the selection
Hello.
process.
Hi, I was busy fighting Righteous.
Great. We had a few questions for you just before we get into the actual car selection. Both of you, so far, in your final 4 races, the only 4 you've done for us in official standings, were very, very strong, and you had a good showing at the 100% event as well. So, what can we expect from you two? It seems like Gore and Righteous are picking you as their rival. Do you think that you can beat them out, or are you hoping to just pick up points and wins when you can?
I'd say that's pretty accurate. But
And honestly, my opinion, I think Righteous is extremely inconsistent, especially here. So come at me, bro. But I'm gonna finish ahead of Righteous every time.
Oof.
yeah, but
Okay.
I'm aiming if I can get my quality down most of the time, then if I start near the front, it'll be pretty close between me and Gore. Just depends on the track, I'd say. And so yeah.
Could you
Hopefully I don't
provide
get
us?
turned.
Could you provide us some insight as to what tracks you think Gore does poorly on?
I mean, there's so many.
Wow.
Okay.
Shots are being fired at the moment.
All right. Before we start a war here, let's move on, shall we? Your car, what is it? Or your driver, who is it?
With our car selection for season 3, we're gonna go with the McLaren.
Oh, the McLaren. Of course. I thought you would have
Interesting
gone
choice.
Red Bull. But that'll teach me to make predictions.
Honestly, we thought so too. So
Well, thank you both for joining us, and this is stewing up to be a very, very fun season to watch. So, good luck and goodbye.
So no one has picked a reserve yet. Any reason you think?
Well, from what I understand, they haven't contacted any tier 2 drivers, so I imagine it's gonna be everyone's second pick. And it's gonna be like fucking brand new news to everyone who gets selected.
I
'Cause
guess.
I've been talking to a lot of tier 2s, and I have not heard any of them say that they were contacted. But our next team to ask some questions from is going to be Nile and Babushka.
And it looks like Bakushka is here.
Babushka. Van, I told you. It's gonna be easier to get him to change his name
It's
than
fine,
for you
he's
to
here.
pronounce it properly.
Hello.
Hello, Babushka.
Hello, gentlemen.
Welcome to the selection process.
Thank you.
We've got a couple of questions lined up for you before we get down to the real reason why we're
Fantastic.
here. I just wanted to ask you, Babu, that you've recently been promoted to competitive after reserving for a while. Will this change your approach to races, being that you can now earn points?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, without a doubt. I think during my time as reserve in Tier 1, it allowed me to be a touch more aggressive than maybe somebody who has to worry about earning points and earning constructors points. And so honestly, that's going to definitely affect my approach this year. I definitely want to be a little bit more patient and a little bit more deliberate with my moves and make sure I'm making the right decisions.
And how do you expect to be doing in this season? Are you expecting to be fighting for podiums or more of a midfield position?
To be honest, myself will probably be, I think fighting for the best of that rest. The kind of the best of the midfield. I definitely think I have a few chances at at a podium or two in me. When I have, my best drive. I'm not going to speak for Niall. Niall's a great driver, so I definitely think he has the potential to get some podiums. Just because he's extremely talented, and so. Yeah, overall as a team, I think the goal for us is going to be, kind of the best of the rest.
And who are you expecting? Which team are you expecting to race the most with this season?
That's a great question. There's a lot of good driver pairs.
The question is, do you match up to them?
Again, great question. I don't know if I can necessarily answer that. I think Kublai and Blase are going to be some guys that we will probably often be racing. I think Borat and Figlin. I think me and Niall can kind of get in their range as well, even though they're both tremendous drivers. And so I think there will be a lot of fighting with Borat and Figlin as well. Don't know necessarily if I have the data to back that up. It's just kind of a gut feeling.
All right, and then one final question before we get on to the meat here. Just stir the pot a bit. Who do you think is going to be Williams tier this season?
Williams tier. I mean that's so hard. I don't want to. There's obviously some new drivers in competitive tier that we haven't raced a lot with. So we could possibly see it come from some of them, but. Out of the drivers that we see, if I'm going to stir the pot a little bit, I think we could see Rogue and Ruda fall down a little bit further than what they're expecting. So I wouldn't be surprised at that at all.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's just let's cut the small chat and tell us your pick.
Yeah, absolutely. So Niall and I are going to definitely be going with our car, and. Although we wish it was the current version of the car, it's still a very beautiful car. We're going to be taking the Toro Rosso.
Okay.
Oh, I see. The Toro Rosso. So, you have chosen the junior team before the parent team has been selected. Was that indicative of how low on the order you thought you were, or did you not expect it to be picked up?
To be honest, I wouldn't have guessed that it'd be available, but no, it actually wasn't in our top choices. We kind of went more by which cars we felt like drove better and that we liked the experience of driving better, and we actually both picked the Toro Rosso before the Red Bull. So I think we're both very comfortable there.
Well, the Toro Rosso does have a really, really good turbo sounds. That's good.
Fantastic.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to see you and your teammate race in the end season.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, let's bring in Kublai and Blase.
Yep.
They're both here tonight.
Are they? I will grab Blase if you can find Kublai.
Hello.
Hello, Kublai and Blase.
Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the selection. Listen, we have a few questions. I know it's going to be boring, but Kublai, I really need your attention for the next, 2 minutes, okay?
Of course.
I'll try to make it quick. I know you have a habit of tuning out. What position are you guys expecting this year? Who do you think you're going to be fighting? And how well do you think you're going to be doing compared to maybe what you saw in Tier 2?
Well, personally speaking, I think I'm a little slower than Kublai, so my objective for the season is just get some nice consistent points, hopefully secure that constructors. Yeah, that's kind of my goal compared to Tier 2 last season.
Yeah, I don't know about the other teams. I didn't hear, like you said, I tuned in and out. But for this team at least, we definitely established that I'm the number 1 driver. Blase is the number 2 driver, and
Fuck, I don't remember that.
In terms of fighting, I think Rogue, Ruda, Gore, Tact was an interesting one. Jordan's gonna be up there. Babushka, perhaps.
Nah, Babushka's trash. He's too inconsistent.
Babushka put me a second slower, I think, personally. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun fight.
Well, now you say that you've set up a internal an internal ranking structure where you are the number 1 driver and Blase is the number 2 driver. How will this affect your strategy? Because I know personally with my teammate, it was whoever could get the most advantage out of a certain strategy would take it. So, you know what, if I was getting held up because my teammate was slow, I'd be let by, regardless of who we consider to be number 1 and number 2. So do you think by setting up a rigid system like that, you're kind of predetermining your strategies?
I mean, from the way I look at it, I'm sure there's some tracks I'm really bad at, such as Spain. That's a really bad track. So in the event that Blase is quicker than me, I have no problem by letting him by. But over the course of the race season, I believe I will be faster, qualifying up higher and everything like that, so the strategy will probably benefit me more. But in the situations where we are 50-50, and if Blase is having a better race, then there's no problem with that.
Interesting. Yeah, well, you know what, before we lose you, we would like to ask what your car or driver choice will be.
We're gonna go with the Red Bull.
The Red Bull.
Yep.
Interesting. It's finally taken. It took a while to get to it. Was that your first choice? Because I don't think being where you are right now that I would have known that I could select the Red Bull. I would not have prepared for it.
Well, we had a top 3 of cars that we wanted to pick, and I think it's the only one left actually. So, yeah.
Interesting.
We actually didn't expect any of the top 3 teams to pick, but we had so many inconsistencies with the lower seeded teams in real life that we kind of like gambled on either Mercedes, Red Bull, and the Haas, and Red Bull was left. I mean, Haas is left too. But,
yeah. Oh, actually, yeah.
You know.
Okay. Well, you know what? Thank you for taking us through your decision. And you know what? I wish you both the best of luck in your new season.
Cheers.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, next up on our list is Kriegs and Zeke.
Zeke is here.
So is Kriegs.
And Krieg.
Hello, Kriegs. Hello, Zeke.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome to the selection channel. Now, before we get down into it and ask you for your car choices, I would like to do a bit of PR fluff. So, some questions. Okay. Zeke, for you, your highest position in the last season you raced was 8th place. Yeah. Are you hoping that you can achieve higher now that you have a position in the competitive tier, or are you thinking that you're going to be fighting in the midfield, just grabbing points when you can?
I mean, of course, everybody's trying to get to the top, right? So I might be midfield, but I'm gonna aim for the highest position I can. Like, it's not just because I see big names like Borat and Fig and all these guys. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna try and get those positions.
Right. And Kriegs, for you, you've shown to be a fairly consistent driver in the competitive tier, but never really challenging for podiums. Do you think that something's changed, or are you still going to be going for the midfield and just solid and consistent points to bring home?
I tend to stay a little bit more solid, mostly just to stay out of trouble. But honestly, I think I need to put my nose in there a little bit more because I can get the pace to be in that top region. It's just whether or not that's going to cause any other issues going forward. The goal, at least, to bring us to the top of the best of the rest. If we can put that further, even better.
Okay, and two additional questions for you. Would you ever sacrifice your principles and turn on some assists for extra pace?
Very unlikely. Actually, I've tried it. Didn't work out. I turned on traction control. I was way slower, like almost 2 seconds slower.
Right. And then third, if I may guess, given that you haven't changed the shirt color of your Doom guy in your profile picture, could I suggest that perhaps you're going for Alfa Romeo again?
Actually, I believe Zeke and I have agreed to go with Racing Point, so I will be changing Doom Guy's shirt to the BWT pink.
Interesting.
So you're picking Racing Point as your car?
We sure are.
Okay.
Yep. Racing Point is the choice.
No reserves
with the understanding that Racing Point's pink will soon disappear with Aston Martin.
Soon.
Soon. But
Soon.
not yet, so you can still enjoy it for a season or two. All right, gentlemen, that concludes that. Thank you for joining us, and we will be back with you shortly for your round 2 picks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And now we have Off the Hood and Sid Hart, I believe.
Off the Hood
Off
is
the Hood
here.
is here. And I think he told me to DM him when it was. Oh no, that was.
Oh.
Oh.
Hello, Off the Hood.
Hey, how you
Hey.
doing?
Fine. Welcome to the selection channel. Just got a few questions for you before we get into car or driver selection. We haven't really seen you race all that much. I know you're in the 100% event in Silverstone that I understand was going fairly well for you. I know I saw you in 5th position at some point. What are your expectations coming into the league? How well do you think you're going to be doing?
I definitely think some people in the lobby or in the league are going to be faster than me. I haven't actually raced with Sid, so I don't know where he's at. We were chatting earlier today about the draft, but I think I would be content with like the 4th to 5th range for our team. I'm speaking just for myself. I don't know where Sid's at, but I think that'd be a good healthy goal for us.
Okay, and so that's team goal. Is that also personal goal? You want to be in the 4th to 5th range?
Yeah. I think I mean, I think after the 100% event, I was able to have some good pace. Definitely was making some mistakes. I'm a little newer to league driving in general, so this is I've got a lot of learning ahead of me and a lot of improvements. But definitely have enjoyed what I've done so far.
Well, if I could give you one piece of advice that you'll hear me repeat all the time if you watch the commentary stream, just be patient. If someone in front of you has a penalty or is going slightly slower, you will eventually make the move. No need to rush it. No need to crash yourself out.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I love the saying, you can't win the race in the first corner, but you can definitely lose it.
Yeah. Now, onto your choice. We only have 2 choices left, so I hope you like either one of them. Are you going Alfa Romeo or Haas CNC?
So I actually think I want to pick my reserve.
Okay.
Oh,
Finally,
yeah.
okay.
Interesting.
let's
The
see.
first time this has happened.
So I was chatting up some of the casual tier drivers sitting in the lobby, and I think Mr. Chipsy himself is going to be the first reserve pick of the
Mr.
draft.
Chipsy. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
And you know what? That might be a good decision because, as far as I know, we're coming straight back to you, right? Oh no, sorry. There's there's 2 more picks in front of you, and then it comes straight back to you. So
Yeah.
Whatever his choice is, you'll be stuck with the other one. So that's kind of removing a bit of choosing if you hate both teams.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me.
So congratulations, and well, look forward to seeing what you're able to do in the league.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Now we have the last team right now, Harry Hotspur. He's a lone driver at the moment, unfortunately.
Hello, Harry. Are you there? Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh god. There, Harry Hotspur, are you here? You have your mic unmuted, or audio at least.
I'm unsure. Well, this is awkward.
I believe, I think we just leave it blank.
Hold on. Van, do you have a technical
I'm here,
difficulty
I'm
screen?
here.
Oh no, he's here, he's
hello,
here, he's here.
Harry.
What's up, guys?
Okay.
Well, welcome to the channel, and I've been asking a few questions before everyone gets down to their picks, and I just wanted to get to know you a bit better because I don't think you have raced in this league before, right? This is you just went straight into the competitive tier. How do you think you're gonna stack up against these guys? Do you know any of the drivers, and how do you fare against them?
Yeah, no, I really don't know any of the drivers. I am a PlayStation 4 transplant. I'm still racing in a league over on the PS4, but I'm like upper mid pack in that league, so I'm hoping to maybe be mid pack, maybe snag some points throughout the season. We'll see. Still getting used to the PC, so it's kind of up in the air.
And if we could just ask a few more questions, what kind of equipment are you racing on? Are you on your PS4?
I've got a Logitech G29 wheel that I use for both PC and PS4.
And then your assists. Do you use any assists?
On the PC, I am only using medium traction control. Trying to get rid of it, but we'll see what happens.
Okay. And then I don't know if you'd know this off the top of your head, but your AI level. Do you know what that is?
Usually, it depends on the track, but fluctuates between 103 and 105.
Great. That was towards the upper range of our field last year for the competitive tier. So
okay.
I personally, from the sounds of it, I think you will be towards the upper midfield to low top.
Okay.
Anyway,
yeah.
let us get down to business. You have 2 picks in front of you, so you get to pick both your team and your driver for reserves right now. And considering you currently don't have a racing partner, I think your reserve choice is going to be fairly important. So,
yes.
Who have you chosen to drive? What team?
What's available right now? I'm trying to
Alfa Romeo and Haas.
Let's stick with the American team. We'll go Haas.
Haas. So that is Alfa Romeo to who was it? Alfa Romeo to Sid and Hood. Yeah. So your reserve driver now. Who is that going to be?
Okay, so based on what I'm seeing, there's most people are available, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, seeing as I don't know anyone, I'm gonna just take some random guesses, and if they're terrible, you guys can let me know.
Well, whatever name you say next is gonna be your reserve driver.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Well,
you can have a look at the standings.
So let's go with 5.
5. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
You also got to pick your track. Which track?
Oh yeah, and your what track would you like?
Has anything been picked yet? Well,
No.
actually,
You're the very first pick of the second round.
Germany.
That produces interesting racing here. I can tell you that. We've had a few German races so far, and they have all been filled with fun. So,
yeah, I love it. Great track.
Thank you for joining us. I believe that concludes your participation in this event, and I cannot wait to see how you do this.
Same.
It's looking like a spicy one.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for the time.
No problem.
All right. Bring Off the Hood back.
Welcome, Off the Hood. Your selection for reserve driver is
Chipsy.
Oh right. Sorry.
He has to pick his track now.
Yeah, man. You're missing out on my climatic pick of my car.
Which unfortunately was done for you 20 seconds ago. It's Alfa Romeo.
Fantastic. For track, how about Silverstone?
Silverstone produces interesting results as well. Not too close of a circuit, but has decent racing, a bit of technicality to it, and as we have seen, you can definitely draw out the safety cars. So that concludes you for tonight. Is there anything you want to say before you go?
No, nothing else. Thanks, man.
All right. Next up is Kriegs and Zeke. Hello, Kriegs and Zeke. Welcome back. Now, your reserve driver pick is?
It's gonna be you, Kia.
Oh dear. I wish you had cleared this with me before, because I'm not available to race every Wednesday.
Dude, but we were just gonna, we wanted to go with Pfeiffer. But he got picked straight away, so we had to come up with someone on the spot. I'm sorry.
Well, congratulations. I may not be able to race till after pre-schedule this fourth.
It's fine.
That's okay. We don't list races very often.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you probably won't have to do anything. I don't think I've missed a single race yet.
But CCast. And your track selection?
China.
Yeah, let's
go.
China.
China. Hell yeah, let's go, boys.
We're
gonna miss it in the season this year. Unfortunately.
Yes. All right. Well, congratulations on your choice of poor human rights records, and we'll talk to you later. Good luck.
Listen,
on the
we're just trying to
season.
get everybody sick.
Right. Well, hopefully we don't contract, what is it, Zika? No, Corona. The novel coronavirus. Next up, Cubelay and Blase.
Yep, let's bring him in.
Cubelay and Blase.
Hello.
Who is your reserve driver?
Well, first we would like to point out a concern from me and all the other drivers before here is we don't wish to gain a disease by going to China. So if
Yeah, we're a little skeptical about that China
I
pick.
will be sincerely sorry for your virtual families if your virtual drivers die. Unfortunately, the show must go on, and
But at what
I'm
cost?
sure your computer's antivirus system can handle it. Now,
I'm sure
Who
other
is
drivers will
your-
have a statement too. Anyways,
who is your reserve driver that you'd like to kill in China with you?
We're gonna bring Sahil.
Sahil,
On the off
interesting.
chance that he kills somebody else in the process, or scores some decent points. So can't see how we can go wrong with that.
Sahil does happen to be my teammate, and I am obligated to say good things about him. He's a good driver.
But there you go.
What is your track selection?
we will be choosing Australia as our track.
Because you want everyone to die by kangaroo.
And
Interesting.
fire.
By fire, mate.
Okay, well, congratulations. I wish I hadn't said all my goodbyes before, so goodbye.
Good.
All right.
Man, I really... Ooh, fuck that up. Niall and Babu.
Babushka. Where are you at? Oh, here he is. Hello.
Babu, hello. Your reserve driver choice is...
We're gonna be taking Sin, BLK Fox.
Sin Black Fox.
Yes.
And what track will he be racing on in the event of your death?
Oh well, let's hope not for that. But such a tough choice because we have all of our favorite tracks are available.
Right, you do have a shot clock, so I would get to choose it. quickly.
Fine, jerk. We will be taking Brazil.
Ah, Safety Car Central. Congratulations. I'm sure it'll be interesting and very wet.
It's a good race to end on. Hopefully nobody takes Abu Dhabi.
Well, you could wish that. Anyway, I happen to know that Borat is very good on Abu Dhabi, so
Yeah,
good
well,
luck in the
Thank
new
you.
season, and hopefully your teammate is there for your Wednesday races, even if he's not here for the Wednesday draft.
He plans on it, and so we should be good.
Great. Our next team is Rogue and Root. Hello, Rogue and Ruta. Welcome back. And your
Hello.
reserve driver choice will be...
I have a question actually. So are
Oh,
we able
boy.
to pick the reserves from the reserves? Like one of the reserve drivers for
Oh, but
tier two?
okay, hold on.
We don't know this information, but I guess he's gonna go find out.
Oh man, I broke the fourth wall. Shit.
Oh no.
Is there a track selection you'd like to make?
We're gonna do Austria. We can at least get that out of the way.
Okay.
If we are
And-
able to, we would like to select.
Okay, tier 2 reserves 2.
Yeah, you can.
So you can select
We're gonna
anybody
pick-
who's in the league.
Okay,
Terry.
we're gonna pick Terry.
Yeah.
Who?
E-R-E.
T-E-R-E.
Okay, I don't see him here.
He's not in our drop down. Is he a new reserve?
Yeah, he hasn't raced here.
Oh, okay, I see his name.
Interesting.
Can I type his name or something?
We know personally.
Yeah, we know.
There we go.
Okay.
All caps.
Okay.
Dang.
There. Well, then you're, you've already selected Austria.
Yep.
Interesting. Very, very little turns. Are you scared of them?
No, just pretty consistent there, and we both enjoy the track. Usually that Canada. Usually Canada's a shit show, so we chose chose that one instead.
Wonderful. Well, have fun in the new season, and hopefully it goes well for you.
Bye.
Next up, we have Dees and Jordan. Deez is here. Hello, Deez.
What's up, guys?
Your reserve driver choice is
I'll take Cookie.
Cookie.
Yeah, he's the only
Okay.
one I know, and he's consistent.
All right. And then your track choice would be
Wait, guys, I don't think Cookie's actually racing anymore because I don't see his name either.
He's a reserver, whatever.
he is on the reserves list, and we just cleared that. So yes, I will add him in. Cookie is your reserve.
I'm picking Singapore for track.
Singapore. Okay. Interesting. Tight walls. Baku S. Is it a favorite of yours or your teammates?
It's a favorite of mine, but he gave me free choice to pick whatever I want, except China. But China was already picked.
All right.
So sucks for him.
Yep. Well, thank you for joining us. And I know we didn't talk. Actually, yeah, we didn't talk before.
No,
So
I didn't. I was running late, so I missed the first draft.
Right. Well, I have a couple of questions for you then.
Sure.
So you had a very strong start to your season, and you picked up a 4th position, which was your highest of the season.
Yeah.
And it feels like you started to fall off. Is there any anything that you've done to kind of keep a consistent level over the next season, or is it just business as usual?
I tried to keep it consistent, but I feel like I kept trying to push too hard sometimes, and I would cause errors and fall down the rankings. So I think that's what happened to me. But for this season, I'm hoping to stay consistent and at least like hit the top 5 a few times to hopefully catch the constructor with Jordan. And I know Jordan's also pretty good, so we should have a pretty good chance of being up there.
All right. Well, thank you, and best of luck in your season. I do hope that you and Jordan are able to pull in some pretty consistent good results.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Next up is Gore and Righteous. Hello, Gore. Hello, Righteous.
Hello.
Your reserve driver choice.
We will. Sorry, I got really confused with the stream. I just had a moment there. Sorry. Our reserve is going to be Critical. We wanted to choose Sahil and talk to him, but Kublai and Blase did not speak to him and stole him. So that was cool. Thank you guys, by the way. Very classy.
Yeah, we actually got permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. Wow.
And then as for our track, we will select Spa.
Spa. So, you know what you and your friends have done?
No.
You've just ruined the Tier 2 season, because the Tier 2s are racing on the opposite...
without China, oh my god.
We're racing the opposite calendar, and some of these are really good circuits. And if you don't pick Canada, I'll be very happy. We got 2 more teams to make that happen. Woot woot. So, yeah, I think we had covered everything. You're going with Belgium because you think you're particularly strong there, or you think that your opponents are weak?
Honestly, every time I go to that track, I just get really excited because I get to think of the time I punted off Righteous out of first place and took the win. So really just a fond memory every time I go across that line. I want to try to relive that as many times as possible.
And then my recovery drive from 14th to 5th.
But then, you know,
Oh, yes.
Cookie got driver of the day, so yeah,
And-
I just didn't deserve it.
Not better.
I would...
Not at all.
I would like to ask, because we, after you, had a team come in who revealed something rather interesting. Is one of you the number 1 driver, or are you both number 1 driver?
Number 1
Neither
driver.
of us are number 1 drivers. We're both number 2 drivers.
I see.
And, basically, what happens is in quali, I think it's only happened. Correct me if I'm wrong, Righteous, but once or twice that we've actually qualied on the same tire near each other, and so our strategies are almost never the same. And so we're always pretty conscious. I do think he ends up having to let me buy a little bit more because he normally goes for the harder strategy. But you know, I think we just race for the constructors. So yeah.
Yeah, we do our best to make sure that our strategies, if we do happen to have the same exact tire strategy, because there's a few circuits out there that you just have to take a certain tires, then we'll stagger our pit stops and everything.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. Good luck at Spa and beyond, and good luck in your, what was it, Ferrari?
There. Hopefully nobody picks Canada, am I right?
Yeah.
Because that track sucks. Alright, see you guys.
Ciao.
Very bad track. No one pick it, and I
Fuck
know Borat and Van are about to.
What? Not
What?
just. Oh.
Hello, Fig and Bort.
Hey!
I don't believe, Borat, that I got a chance to speak to you, so
No,
I'll
you
have some
didn't.
questions after we find out what your reserve choice.
All right. So for our reserve driver, we are gonna go with Radical Aardvark.
Rad. What a lad.
Rad the lad.
Right. And your track selection?
What do you think it is?
I
It's
am
a
going
tough
to
one.
bet it's either Abu Dhabi or Canada.
What?
What?
Oh, Monaco.
Monaco, baby.
Ah.
We're going
Oh
to Singapore
god.
and Monaco.
I hate you guys so much.
Monaco, baby.
Well, you know what? That's just removed it from the rotation of Tier 2. I love you guys. Thank you.
Hopefully I don't miss that. This time.
Well, I think we may see the max amount of safety cars being deployed for a race in this season.
I
Either
hope it
Singapore or Monaco. And if it rains, I will praise you as the savior, because that would be amazing.
You know what? The only way anyone's beating us is if there's a safety car. So.
Right. Now, onto the questions, Borat.
Oh boy.
I have
like questions.
2. One of them is, how drunk are you right now?
Right now, I am sober. I was drunk last night, though.
Right, and then my follow-up question is, how hungover were you this morning?
Oh, yeah, it was not fun.
Yeah.
I got out of the bed and was on an air mattress, and I stood up, and I felt like I was still on the air mattress.
That's the funniest sensation, isn't it? I do have a question about your racecraft.
We're gonna talk about that too.
You had some good momentum at the start of the season. You, in fact, picked up the very first win, but it seemed to slip away from you as the season went on and on. Do you think you have what it takes to capitalize on your early success this time around?
Well, yeah, it was just really, really bad luck. I'm not gonna say a lot of it. A lot of it was fuck it. You know what? A lot of it was driver error. But I'm gonna say that there was also some bad luck tied into that, and it carried over from my other league too, from Formula Sundays. It was
Yeah,
just
that's what
bad
that was.
back.
What I was going
It
to
was-
ask, because you also had some success in your EuroLeague that
Yeah.
didn't get realized in the in GSR.
Yeah,
or
so I was
ARC.
I was first place going into the last 2 races, and then I missed them, and then I lost first place because I had to work. But you know, I had really bad luck on one of the races. I disconnected, and then everything kind of just transferred from that league over to this one. And then a lot of it was my fault. Like, I was the first driver to get disqualified. I think that deserves some sort of a trophy in itself.
And your teammate was the other driver to get disqualified, making you the only team to have a disqualification.
Well, and see, that's just his dumb mistake. I told him not to.
Okay. Well, you know what? Thank you for your time, and I hope that your reserve driver Rad drives on Monaco in your Ferraris. Or not, no, in your Williams.
Ferraris?
I was looking at the wrong row. In your
Yeah.
Williams.
And then I
You
just
know
want to say
what?
one thing. I want to say one thing. I'm not
Yeah.
going to blame any of my lack of decent races on anybody else but myself.
I thought you were about to like actually name and shame. That would have been a lot more interesting for the drama.
Well, I mean, just but that's okay.
Okay.
I forgive
All
him.
right. Thank you for joining us, and we have to get back to Van.
And
He's going Russia. Calling it.
Hello, Tact XO.
Hello.
Hello, Van Beats. Your choice for reserve driver is
We're gonna take Wooly Freyr.
Willie. Consistent guy. Not a lot of assists, no assists, if I remember correctly. And your track selection will be.
You could do the honors.
Wait, what's happening? Wait one sec.
Picking the track.
Oh my god! Okay. I think we're gonna just. No, that's incorrect, Van. There we
Oh,
go.
yep.
Okay.
Better.
Y'all get the point. we're going back to my roots. We're gonna drive around the pothole infested streets of Moscow.
Great, and just to like really frame up the odds here, in season 1, Tak won in Russia by a mile. In season 2, he clawed back from qualifying in 7th position.
Oh
I
yeah,
think?
because we did one shot quali because
We
people
did do one-shot
apparently have a bedtime, so they wanted to skip quali. But then I still won because it's my track.
And I took
Yeah.
pole.
And Van
Okay.
took pole, so that's
Yeah.
why this was an easy decision. We're
And
glad
then Van, what position did you get after the race?
Third, right? I don't know. I don't remember. That was the first time, at least. And then 4 for something. Second time around.
Okay. Well, I do believe that does wrap up our draft.
Well, wait. We have one more thing to do. We have to randomize 2 tracks.
Yep.
Oh,
So
yes.
we have 12 track season, and so we need to figure out the last 2.
This kind of been an early thing. I'm sorry for the typing, but. So what are the tracks? Can you guys list them off real quick? I'm gonna mute so no one hears the typing.
The tracks that we already chose are Australia. Well, do them in order: Australia, China.
No, tell me which ones we haven't picked so I can put it in the randomizer.
Oh my god, hold on.
Sake. Okay. Goes Bahrain. Bahrain's one. Azerbaijan. Abu Dhabi. Italy. Spain. France. Can you help me out?
Oh, you weren't looking at a fucking list? Hold on.
No.
Australia was taken. Was Bahrain taken?
No, I said Bahrain already.
Okay, China was taken. Spain wasn't
I said
taken.
Spain.
Azerbaijan, Canada.
Oh yeah,
France.
Canada, US as well. USA.
Yeah. France.
Mexico.
Hungary.
Hungary, yeah. How many of you
Japan.
left? Oh, Japan, true.
And I believe Hockenheim was chosen, right?
Hockenheim was chosen, yeah.
So
Is that 12, Van? Do you have? Or 11, sorry? Do you have 11 in your list?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
No, you have to make sure. It's gotta be right.
Yeah. It's 12. It's 12. Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
12, it should be 11.
Before you unmute, I do have a question. So the way it works is the tier 2 schedule is inversed, right? But if we have 10 tracks selected, how the fuck is it inversed?
Alright guys, we're back. The 2 tracks that have been randomized is, drum rolls, Japan and Abu Dhabi. God, terrible tracks honestly, but what can you do?
Japan is a work of art, and Abu Dhabi is a racetrack around a work of art. It just looks pretty. It's not great. Alright, and then I think that concludes the tier 1. There's still a process to go through tier 2, but I'm sure that will happen off camera behind the scenes because tier 2, not as important as competitive tier.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I have been Kia. Tak is still here as the admin representative, I guess.
Yeah.
Van has been my co-commentator. And thank you for joining us at the Apollo Racing Club. This has been the draft. Please check out our website, which will be linked, as well as the Discord and Twitch chat.
Yep, and we'll see you guys in like a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
See you in Melbourne, yeah, next week.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Yeah, next week, yeah. Wow. Okay, yeah, bye.